Hey, tonight we're talking Final Fantasy VII, EA revamping Anthem, Bulletstorm, Destiny-style shooter Outriders, and possibly some game/TV adaptations. You're listening to the Sunovageek Podcast.
Sunovageek!
I'm Spencer.
And I'm looking up the topics right now.
And your name is...
Oh, Zio.
Zio. How's it going?
Great, man. It's been so much going on since last week.
I know. And a quick little awesome note for everybody else. Zio has a fantastic announcement coming to you later on the podcast. It's a super awesome, next to nothing related one. Zio, you have an announcement for that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 100%. So you can be looking forward to that, so make sure you stick around.
Yeah. Stick around. We need that watch time.
Woo!
Woo!
I can't believe what Carbuncle looks like. It's almost scary.
It's so horrifying. It's terrible. It's not good.
It's like they took something that looked nice and then grabbed the head and were just like...
Just stretched it out in Photoshop.
They're like, wait. What if we took a normal looking dog, but then its forehead was really tall?
You know what? I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna Photoshop this thing and make it look way better than what it is because.
All right, I'm looking
I don't
forward
think
to
it.
it.
Can get any worse?
Because it's.
But then.
It has to have been stretched out because its ears still start at a normal place where dogs do.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they're like.
It literally looks like they took the forehead, like, so imagine the middle of that gem, right?
Yeah.
Where it ends. Imagine that's where the head actually ends. It looks like they took that, stretched it out in Photoshop, and then just, like, did some light fixing.
Does Carbuncle have a gem on his forehead normally?
Yeah. Carbuncle's always had a gem on his forehead.
Okay, where did Carbuncle come into the Final Fantasy stuff?
So, Carbuncle originally was in Final Fantasy V.
Okay.
But he's not in 7. They skipped 7 for Carbuncle. And then they put him in, like, all the other ones.
But now he is.
And I kind of wish he wasn't.
I mean, because we're looking at...
It just looks like a...
Oh, so Carbuncle's just a summon. That's all he is.
Yeah, he's just a summon.
So it's something you could summon through a spell.
Yeah. So you have your summon material, and that's what Carbuncle is. But Carbuncle's always been like I think it's like a healing summon? I don't think it's like a summon that does damage.
Well, now it's going to be a summon that causes confusion.
Oh, it casts Reflect on the entire party. It teaches...
Oh, that's not so bad.
It teaches Reflect, Haste, Protect. Final Fantasy VIII. What did it do in Final Fantasy VIII? It did something about HP, Vitality, Magic stuff. I don't know. But it's always had a gem on its forehead.
I mean,
it's had many iterations. But this is easily the worst.
Well, why do you see the worst?
Because it looks like a morphed chihuahua mixed with a cat.
A morphed chihuahua. I mean, it's not a bad way of putting it.
It's like a chihuahua and a cat had a baby, and then that baby had a baby with Megamind.
I didn't think about Megamind. Megamind's a good way of putting it in here.
But did you also see the baby chocobo?
Yeah, I've got a few interesting things to say about that.
What's with the giant heads?
I
get in anime, they always give kids with big heads and stuff, but this is absurd. Well,
I've been watching a lot of the original Dragon Ball because I haven't seen it before, and seeing that makes me think of it's just a Super Saiyan baby chocobo.
It is. It looks like he took Vegeta's hair and put it on a chocobo.
Pretty much. It doesn't look angry, and that's why it looks weird. If it looked angry or frustrated, I think it would look fine.
Or if you spread out the eyes a little bit.
Really?
Make the beak a little bigger and spread the eyes out.
I think that would just make it look weird.
Its head looks too big.
Okay, well, Photoshop that too, then.
All right, I'm going to make the eyes bigger. I'm going to make the beak a little bigger.
At least the cactus looks fine.
What cactus?
You haven't seen the cactus?
No.
I don't know exactly what it does, but they also did the cactus. But I mean, they've done the cactus in tons of games.
That idea
and it's
really
a simple
changed.
thing.
It's always looked the same.
It's just an oblong shape in a weird I'm ready to run pose.
Yeah, that's what it's always been. Let me see what it looks like. I'm not finding any images of it.
Well, I'll send you what I did, just Google Carbuncle FF7 original, and you're gonna see it in the top stories. It's the new Final Fantasy VII Remake summon screenshots show off adorable creatures.
I'm looking up Final Fantasy VII Remake Cactus.
No, look up Carbuncle Final Fantasy VII original.
Yeah, that looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it looks exactly how it is.
That's never changed, and that's good. But Carbuncle should be like I'm not about animal abuse, Ben.
You're not?
No, but I mean, I kind of considered it a little bit when I saw this image. It's like, put it out of its misery.
That's fair.
It's awful looking. It's so bad. I don't know. But one thing they did do right is I did really enjoy the extended opener that they released.
Did you? I didn't even finish watching it. I got bored after. I'm like, oh, cool. It's a big thing of a desert. And then there's a bunch of structures. And I'm like, nah, I'm not interested.
Oh my god, you barely made it in. That's like only like 5 to 10 seconds.
The first 30 seconds are like a pan over where it's like, oh cool, a whole bunch of desert. Oh, we got some buildings. There's a road with some cars.
It's gotta build up because of the tension.
No, but there's no tension for me because I've only played like the first little bit about Final Fantasy VII. And it's how many other games have shown panning shots of a desert? Real creative Square Enix.
I'll give you that, but I found it interesting, and it did kind of confirm my suspicions. When they first showed Aerith again, they had like a Sephiroth's song playing behind the opener of Final Fantasy VII. So like the opening of the original game goes dun dun dun, and then in between the gaps of that, they would have One Winged Angel playing like in a very, very slow tempo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, almost like there's an ominous thing behind it. I thought that was pretty cool. Very interested to see the direction. I love Final Fantasy VII, and I'm actually really excited to see the different direction they're going to go with this remake.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. They did change Aerith again, though.
Did they?
Yeah, Aerith has a new visual update. Kind of.
What's
in
that?
In the trailer that she was in, she looks different than the original trailers that they showed.
Does she?
In the original like reveal of like, oh look, we see Aerith's face. Her face was a bit more like narrow and kind of pointed's not the right word for it, but it kind of is.
Oh, they made it look more.
Now she looks more normal, like a person.
I thought she looked like a person before.
Well, she looked like a person before, but now she looks more, like an average person.
I see. They're making her look. All right, so to me,
yeah,
she looks a little more American. The first time, and then the remake, I see where they changed her face. She looks a little more Japanese than the new iteration.
I just thought she looked more like a normal person now. I think she looked cooler before.
Are you racist against Japanese people, Spen?
No, no. Zio trying to throw me under the bus.
It's just I don't know that the way I see her face makes me think of like an anime girl or an Asian girl. Nothing wrong with the structure. I feel like Asian people have a more compressed face, as Americans and Europeans probably have a longer face.
No, I guess.
When I look at the left one, because I have a side by side up. When I look at the left one, I think she's a little more American or European, and then when I look right, I can definitely see the Japanese inspiration.
Oh, maybe we're looking at different pictures then. How did you look it up?
I typed Final Fantasy VII Aerith, and it was the first picture. And it's under an article that says, FF7 Japanese controversy regarding new Aerith design. Oh, maybe they hated her looking like them.
I have no idea. Final Fantasy VII Aerith remake comparison? Maybe that'll work? I don't know. Because the one that I saw was different. It was a different comparison. It was like two straight on shots.
Yeah, so. I mean this isn't straight on. This is at a slight angle, but let me see if I can send this to you.
All right.
I'm gonna send you this thread.
Yeah. What's a thread gonna do?
Well, the thread has the picture on it, so if you click on it, it'll take you to the same...
Wouldn't it be faster to, send me a link?
I'm sending you a link right now.
Well, you said you were sending me a thread with a picture.
It's a link. It's a link to a thread. Oh my god! Stop. Just click on the goddamn picture.
I can't because I've got. Oh wait, no. I guess it doesn't really matter. I can't click on it because I've got everything recording right now.
Oh my god, Spen.
It's fine. I'll look at it later.
You're like,
I believe
why don't you send me
oh
a
wow!
link?
Oh wow! You're right. I totally agree. Oh wow! Look.
Anyways, for those of you who can pull it up and look at it, like,
Well, I'm showing it on the screen right now for everybody.
if you just type FF7 Aerith in Google Images,
They can see it on the
it's
screen
first,
right now, Zio.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
the first image that pops up.
Yeah, I put it up there. It's all fine.
Good.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
They pretty much just made her head. They just compressed her head a little bit.
Kind of. Well, what was that? There was like a guitar sound.
I hit my mic stand.
Oh, that's not
On
as
accident.
exciting. I
Yeah,
thought
that's
someone was
nowhere
gonna
near
come
as
in. I
exciting.
thought your wife was gonna show up in the background just playing a guitar. She was gonna like soothe everybody
Oh.
and just like brow, brow, brow.
I saw.
Can she play
Oh
an
man, I
instrument?
clicked. No, she cannot. Oh, she used to play bass actually.
Well, just get her to grab a bass and come play.
Okay, I'll be sure to tell her next time.
No, right now.
I accidentally clicked on another image scrolling down.
Yeah.
And it shows the one Aerith versus the new Aerith, and then it has the image of Sonic before he was remade. It's with her eyes and mouth. It looks awful. It's so bad. It's so horrifying.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, I saw Sonic the Hedgehog this weekend.
Oh, how was it?
I enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did
yeah. Obviously, the CGI wasn't as polished, but I think that's kind of understanding because due to the situation.
Yeah, where they basically had to redo the whole
Redo
thing.
all of it in 6 months. But I enjoyed the movie. It's obviously geared towards children,
That's what I've heard.
but overall, I still enjoyed it, and I got a little teases. I liked Jim Carrey,
Okay.
and I'm really excited for a sequel.
Well,
I
I
think
heard
in the
lots
sequel
of good
they're
things
gonna
about
go
Jim Carrey.
crazier. Yeah, Jim Carrey is great. I love Jim Carrey about it. I cannot wait to see a sequel with Jim Carrey because he goes full crazy Robotnik, and it's amazing.
Oh, nice. So there is going to be a sequel then.
I hope so. This movie has to do well, but
Okay, so
I don't-
you enjoyed it enough that you hope there's a sequel.
yes.
Okay, well that's not bad. Maybe I will go check it out.
Yeah,
I had a hard time with
think-
Sonic's voice because I watched the cartoons growing up, and he had a very distinct sound. And this movie, from the trailers I've seen, the sound's not the same.
Yes and no. I don't think he's that far off. This is a different Sonic, though. You got to think. So this is a more hyperactive Sonic than what we're probably used to.
Okay.
Because
The
I
other
grew
one
up
was,
with
like,
Sonic
cool.
being... Yeah, he was always, like, cool and chill. And it's like, I'm going to relax back here and do nothing because I'm lazy. And then he's like, dang it, I got to do something. And then he's super fast.
Yeah.
And this one's definitely more of, like, ADHD hyperactive.
So this one's had a little bit of cocaine.
Yes. I would say a lot of cocaine.
Oh, a lot of it. Okay.
A lot of it.
Well, that'll
But
be interesting then.
Otherwise, Sonic was great. I highly recommend it. I wanted to do well enough for a sequel, and then if that sequel's bad, then nobody has to watch it.
Okay. That's fair. I'll maybe I will go. I'll probably not. I'll probably wait till it comes out on like Netflix.
You're part of the problem. You gotta go see it.
But I'm not that interested to see it though,
Fine.
because it just I don't know. We'll see.
Do you have
maybe
Hey, do you have AMC in Canada?
AMC?
Yeah, movie
I
theater
haven't
chain.
watched television in
No.
probably 6 years.
It's a movie theater chain. AMC.
No,
Cinemas.
we have Cineplex.
Oh. Well,
just-
you
we
should
just-
look into Cineplex because I have AMC A-list. It's basically I pay $20 a month, and I get to watch 12 movies a month without
Interesting.
having to pay for the tickets. So it's
Oh,
like
you were
a
telling me about that
subscription for
a
movie
while
theaters.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that. We just have a Cineplex card that gives you Cineplex points, and then eventually you get a free movie.
That's lame.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's all we got.
All right.
I don't really know if there's the only other theater chain that we have is none. So
None?
all I
Like-
know of is Cineplex,
like, do you go to
and
a
then just like
nun's
the
house
mom and pop
and then-
theaters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's another theater chain, we just call it Cineplex anyways when we go to it. Because it's got
You should look
Cineplex's
into it.
name on it, so.
You should look into it. There might be a subscription that you're just not aware of.
No, we used to watch a lot of movies at theaters a lot, so I'll look into it though. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I'm saying if you used to, this is definitely worth it because I see practically every movie that ever comes out now.
Yeah. The only one I went to go see in the last little while was the new Star Wars.
What'd you think?
I really liked it when I finished watching it, and then I went and I started reading up on it, and I'm like, oh wow, this was actually really bad.
I had a mixed bag of feelings. I felt like it was very almost patronizing. Like I felt like it tried too hard to give fan service, kind of like how Avengers Endgame did, but without the payoff that Avengers Endgame gave us.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find. There's a really good video. It's like 20 minutes long though, but it was the guy breaking down why the movie. Oh, it was actually no, that's what it was. It was Devin Nash. He usually does a stream on like content creation and all this stuff, but he did one on the movie and broke it down, and I watched that, and then I started to slowly realize throughout it, because I was like, no, it wasn't bad. I really liked it, and then it was just like, oh wow, it really is bad. But it was because I went in expecting to hate it, and that's why I liked it.
Yeah, well, I don't hate it. I still enjoyed it to a capacity, but I definitely think they should have broke the 3-movie trilogy cycle. That movie should have been 2 movies.
I honestly think the big issue was because of the having multiple directors.
Yeah,
because
the
each
controversy with
director,
Rian Johnson and then switching back to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, because at that point it's really tough. Because if you have a specific, like I loved The Force Awakens. It's by far my favorite Star Wars movie. And then the other one, the second one, had like just a massive shift in like tone and feeling and everything. And then I hated it. And then I went into the last one thinking it was probably going to suck as well. But then I kind of enjoyed it because I expected it to be so bad.
Yeah.
And it just, but none of the 3 movies feel like they belong with each other. And that's the problem.
No, you're absolutely right. Like the 3rd movie felt like it quickly just put a Band-Aid over the 2nd movie and like, let's forget that when it happened.
Yeah, because
I agree. I kind of wish Rian Johnson didn't get fired and they would have just let him finish, because I feel like he would have taken the 3rd movie to an interesting direction. I don't think the tone shift is that bad. Like, think about the first Star Wars, the very first Star Wars, and then The Empire Strikes Back. They're pretty different tonally.
No, they are, but I don't know. Tell you what. I'm going to watch... I haven't watched the second Star Wars movie of the remakes since I saw it in theaters. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it tonight, and then I'll let you know if I still feel the same way about it.
Okay.
Because currently my thoughts are that I dislike it a lot because it was too fast-paced. There was too much dialogue. That was just almost like they took the speed and like sped it up a bit just because there were so many words constantly coming out, and it felt like people were talking faster than they really should be. Because that's 90% of what the movie was just dialogue, it felt like to me.
So I was kind of in your boat. When I first watched it, I didn't like it. And then I watched it a second time, and I think I enjoyed it a lot more the second time than I did. I definitely did the first time. Like the second time, I actually liked the movie. Like I recognize its flaws, but I do think it's a lot better than people give it credit for.
I don't know. I'll watch it again and I'll let you know what I think.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah,
we'll talk about it next podcast. How's that?
Yes, we'll talk about it next podcast.
Not a lot, just briefly.
So, but let's talk about the Outriders.
Yeah, Outriders is going to be interesting, I think. Are you going to get it? Because I probably won't, but I'll keep my eye on it and see how it does.
I will also see how it does, mostly because Destiny burned me hard. I have an extreme dislike for Destiny.
If anybody doesn't know what Outriders is, the developers behind the series Bulletstorm are now making their own Destiny-styled loot shooter called Outriders. Yep. And that's pretty much all you really need to know. They've released a little bit of gameplay of it. That's about it. We know slight things about it.
When you first told me about this game, Spen, I was like, ugh.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, it's like a Destiny-like game, and you're like, oh, a Destiny clone. I'm like, no, it's like Destiny. You're like, yeah, that means it's a clone, and it's just, when you said it, I was like, I wasn't looking forward to it, because I have a big dislike for Destiny.
the first Destiny I didn't think was all right, but then it went bad, but then it started to get good, and then they made Destiny 2 for some reason, and then they changed everything, and then I've had nothing but disdain for Destiny 2. I think it had a really hard time staying balanced. I think the stories just wasn't as good. I don't know. Anything about Destiny 2 I'm just not a fan of. But
Yeah.
even
I don't
aesthetically, I gotta say Outriders appeals to me more just because it has that, like, gritty, like, hodgepodge feeling to it. Like, I'm not a big fan of clean space. I like space to be, like, broken parts and, like, just what I loved about the new Star Wars is when they went to that town and there's just a bunch of broken things and people building random stuff out of it.
Yeah.
I love dirty, futuristic things. Like, The Mandalorian was perfect. And this gives me a good feeling looking at it.
Okay, speaking of dirty things in the future.
That's my announcement, everybody.
No,
I'm just kidding.
We might cut this. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I can. If this is something that's cool to talk about on game. I wouldn't talk about it on my own channel. So
That's
I've
fine.
been going and trying. I've been reaching out to different things, sending out different voice lines to other different small projects to try and help improve my own voice acting and do different work with that. Well, one of the latest ones. There's a guy. It's not like I don't think it's a legitimate thing. It's like a fan type project, but he's you know how there's some animations you see where someone takes like a manga and they take the chapters for it and then they voice over it and they have it where it's just like animated throughout the panels with some slight little things. There's a hentai or hentai.
You did a voice act for hentai?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I want to see it, Sven. I want to hear it. I
don't even know what's gonna go through with it. Because I recorded my lines for like a test type thing and I sent it to the guy. So we'll see. We'll find out.
Oh my god! I want this.
Okay.
You have to follow it, and if this comes out, I want to see it.
So I've never.
And this is staying in the podcast.
Okay. Okay. No, I'll tell you some other stuff after the podcast. For other work that I've done with 3D animation stuff when I was doing contract stuff. But I can't talk about it here because Smiley might listen, and then I'll never.
All right,
hear
everybody, right now, Spen voice act for hentai. We need to get this podcast out to the world. Share it with everybody. Tell everybody to listen to the podcast.
Well, we don't know yet. I sent the lines in to see what it was gonna be like. So
that's fine. We'll find out who this guy is. We'll harass him. We need to make sure that this thing is produced and made.
Well, the best part, too, is he's asked if I'd ever done any voice acting before, so I sent him a link to our web series.
Yeah,
I'm like, I voiced Prekin, the main character.
Like, I do a lot of screaming really well.
Maybe this is my big break.
Oh my god, this is your break into the voice acting world? You can be a hentai voice actor.
Okay.
Oh, man. Oh my god.
I kind of regret talking about this right now.
I love this. This is the highlight of my day.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Spen. Thank you so
much. But Outriders, yeah.
Outriders is gonna be excellent. Okay. It may not be excellent. It may be terrible. But I love the fact that it's a post-apocalyptic future sci-fi game, and I'm really excited to see it. And even more so, I hope there's a director's mode because that's going to make me want to make some machinimas for it.
Well, give me a sec. I think my background became one that wasn't free footage, so I had to switch it.
Oh, no.
I'm sure it's fine. I still like yours. I'm jealous of yours.
Thanks.
Yours is like this cool, like, spinning thing and all, like, wibbly-wompy thing.
Oh, yeah. I made it myself.
Nice. No, you didn't.
I didn't. I totally ripped it.
I was going to say, if you made that yourself, I'd be pretty impressed.
Thanks.
I mean, I feel you'd have the ability to do that, but not in a week.
Yeah, definitely not in a week.
3 weeks. 3 weeks I'd give you, because you'd have to like learn how to do some of the parts there, and then you'd be able to pull it off.
That's true. I would have to teach myself first.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I gotta say, I did spend a whole day and a half
learning After Effects.
No.
Oh.
I don't have After Effects yet. learning how to create this scene. After Effects probably would have helped a lot. I created this entire scene using nothing but green screen images, and it is a nightmare. It took me forever.
The toughest part is lighting.
Well, yeah, the lighting. I think the lighting works. It's fine. It's really not that complicated.
What I mean is just of the individual items.
Oh yeah, it's not that complicated.
Because if one of them's lighting's off, then it sticks out like a sore thumb.
There's honestly only like 4 or 5 layers happening.
Okay.
But it's the point of, this was my first time doing something to this extreme.
Is this for the web series?
This is for, Next to Nothing. So the next episode of Next to Nothing is going to have this scene.
Everybody's going to be looking for it, and they're going to point out. They're going to be like, wow, Zio, this was so bad.
Yeah, it's probably going to be bad, but like I couldn't actually make it work in a real life practical machinima way. So I had to green screen everything. And we'll see how it goes. But I mean, with my Christmas special, that helped me gave me a lot of experience because
there's a lot of stuff in there that I didn't know was green screened.
Yeah, like every single ghost is green screened, and my favorite part was when Jethro like yelled at Prek and he grew and got bigger.
Yeah,
that was probably my biggest accomplishment in that episode.
You did a really good job with all that.
Thanks.
You should be proud of it.
Thank you. I am. Although it's not perfect, I see plenty of mistakes when I watch it. But
yeah, but I mean, anybody that makes something is going to be able to go and look back and see all the mistakes.
Yeah. Anyways, when is there a release window for this Outriders?
I don't know if there is yet. We just know a little bit of information. I honestly didn't even look to see if there's a release date. I didn't even think of that.
Well, let me look it up myself.
Because if they've got gameplay footage, well, I guess there's other games that have had footage of gameplay,
and then didn't come out for years.
Well, I guess because technically
Outriders is due out this year. It's gonna come to Xbox Series X and PS5.
Okay. Because I guess typically games do create pretty much like a complete package of a first level or something like that, just to kind of like show to investors usually.
Yeah.
So it would make sense.
Yeah, so my guess is it's probably going to be a launch title for these games. Kind of like how Destiny was a launch title for the PS3, or not PS3, PS4 and Xbox One.
The first Destiny was?
I think so. Let me see. Destiny,
that can make sense. Because I really enjoyed the first Destiny. I played it a fair amount, and then I fell off of it, and then the Taken King came out, and I fell in love with the game again.
Never mind. Destiny came out a year after. I apologize.
Did you ever play the Taken King?
I did, yeah.
Okay. I felt that was like the prime of Destiny.
Destiny? Yeah, Taken King was definitely the best part of Destiny. Honestly, what these games need to do, like... So, I've been reading up on, like, games and, like, what the issues with some of them are, because Destiny and... Let me think. The Division, right? So those are 2 games I'm going to use my biggest examples. I feel like what they should have done is what No Man's Sky did. Now, honestly, I'm not going to, like... I'm not a big No Man's Sky fan where I like talk it up like everybody else, but in real, like, honestly, Hello Games did a great job revamping this game and building it to what it is. I think that shows a lot about the company and their dedication. And Destiny had a great launch, then it got criticized for its story, and they improved the story with patches and DLC and stuff. Even though they charged for it and everything, it got really good towards the end. They should have just kept Destiny and expanded on that.
Here's why they couldn't, though. Do you know about what happened with all of the during the development?
No.
Because we talked about this a while ago on a podcast, like close when we first started the podcast. I don't remember. Was it Active? I don't remember what it was. Whatever company was first, like in charge of everything for Destiny. Do you remember who it was?
Activision. It
was that
Activision and Bungie?
Because Activision split from... Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so Activision had it set up. So before we even knew about what was happening with Destiny, they already had a schedule for Destiny, all of its expansions, and Destiny 2. While Taken King was being made, Destiny 2 was already in development. So all the additions and improvements that they made on Destiny 2... couldn't be on the Taken King couldn't be implemented into Destiny because Destiny 2 was already in production. They had a specific schedule that they had to meet.
But
because of that, they weren't able to do the kind of stuff like with.
Well, I'm talking the development road. They shouldn't have even just made a Destiny 2. They should have just continued with Destiny to be a title.
But they couldn't have.
Why?
because Activision had a release schedule set for them.
I understand, but if I'm whether
Oh,
I'm
I
not
see what
blaming
you're saying.
Bungie. I'm saying in general, Destiny 2 shouldn't have been on the schedule. It should have just been one game with continual updates, and I think that would have been the better way to go. Kind of like WoW's been doing it for years.
But what's tough though is a game like Destiny. What Hello Games did with No Man's Sky was unheard of at the time. Nothing had ever really been done to the scale of what Hello Games did, where they brought a game out and it was just the general consensus is what is this trash? Why did you lie to us? And now they've turned it back around, and now we're seeing more and more of that.
Hello Games isn't the only one. That's where I was bringing Division into play. Division they had a really bad launch.
Did they?
And they improved the game, and it got the largest fan base it ever had out of that.
Really?
Yeah, so like after a couple years and fixing the game up and adding a bunch of really interesting mechanics into the game, it had the largest fan base it ever had, including when it first launched. And then they made the Division 2, and the Division 2 was just terrible. They should have both games, I think, should have just stuck with their original game and just continued to build on that.
No, that's fair.
Sure, your argument over the Destiny hadn't been done yet because Hello Games came out in 2016, right? Or No Man's Sky did, but the Division, I'm pretty sure came out the same year.
Okay, yeah, because the Division it feels like it was forever ago.
Yeah, the Division release date is 2016, so that's the same year as No Man's Sky, and they did improve it. They did make the game better, but then they created the Division 2 and they lost all hope.
Well, it's really cool to see that there's other games that have done that, because I just thought that Hello Games was like the first one to do that.
No, yeah, other brands do it, and then obviously Anthem is now following suit,
which I think is gonna be good for it. Have you played any of Anthem?
No, I avoided Anthem. I was super hyped about it. Because to me, on paper and what they showed, it was everything I ever wanted Destiny to be. Mm-hmm. But then it turned out it wasn't what I was hoping it would be. And so I avoided getting it.
So I played one of the early access betas of it.
Yeah.
And then I played it because I have EA Origin Access, and they put it on there. And in general, with there's the flying mechanics, some of the combat stuff is absolutely spectacular, and it's fantastically done. The issue with the game is there's not much to it.
There's no substance.
And I think what they're doing is going to be really great because they have a beautiful foundation for the game. It's just
and
there's
they can expand upon it.
Yeah, there's just not enough content.
Not to mention,
I don't know. It's just. It has lots of other little problems with it too.
Funny you mentioned how you never seen No Man's Sky do it. There was another game that did it before No Man's Sky.
What game was that?
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, I consider that a little different because I guess it is the same thing because the Final Fantasy 14 launched and it was critically and commercially just a bomb.
No, yeah,
and then
just a bomb.
Because didn't they just shut it down and then a few years later launch it back up, or was it a slow progress thing as well?
Yes and no. So they did shut it down, but they kept the game running while they were trying to fix it, and then they shut it down for a little bit, and then they brought it back.
You might cut out there for me.
14.
How long did they shut it down for?
I don't know how long, but it wasn't as long as you're thinking. They shut it down for a little bit, basically to kind of patch it in, and then they brought the new one, The Realm Reborn.
Yeah. Well, because it basically became an entirely new game.
Close, yeah. It did become almost an entirely new game, but they still used all the assets they had before and things like that.
Even the story and everything, because I don't know if you've played Final Fantasy Realm Reborn.
I have, yeah. So the story from Realm Reborn continues off of the story from 14.
Yeah, which is really cool. There's a lot of references to the original.
Yeah. Thing. So other companies have done it.
Okay.
But
I don't know. I guess. Yeah, no, that's true.
Some sequels are good, but in a game like this,
it doesn't feel the same scale as what Hello Games was, just because of how much they were hated at the beginning and then how much it turned around. But
I guess, yeah. I mean, Hello Games did. I think what made Hello Games worse is because Sean Murray talked it up a lot more than what it was.
yeah.
And that's kind of why that story sticks out to you more. But I would say, like, some games do deserve sequels, right? But some games don't need to be a sequel. They just need to be updated.
No,
Like,
I agree with you.
And I think, especially because of how Destiny was promoted, it was promoted to be like an MMO almost.
Yeah.
And with that type of mentality, you shouldn't create a sequel. You should just release updates or patches or new extensions of it, you know? And I think that would have built a much bigger world and fan base for Destiny.
Well, no, you're right. I don't. It is complicated in some ways, I guess, because I guess Destiny wasn't really around for that long. It was maybe like 2 or 3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only around for a few years. So it came out in 2014, and then they released Destiny 2.
Because there's some MMOs that have come
later.
up with sequels, but that's after like years.
Yeah,
and
like
years.
10, 15 years, yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. No, I agree with you on that 100%.
But we'll see. They'll make a Destiny 3.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Because I think the main issue with Destiny 2 was just everything.
It was just everything.
No, Destiny 2 expanded on Destiny 1 in some really cool ways, but then
Didn't.
it had disappointing things that it felt like they cut corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the newest expansion for Destiny 2 is supposed to be kind of similar to the line of what happened with Taken King. It's not. People have kind of burnt out on it.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, I don't blame them. They do all of these updates, and then they charge you so much more money. Like Destiny, they really weaseled a lot of money out of people, I think. But we'll see. We'll see.
But I mean,
honestly,
but when Activision's name on it, you know they're gonna be trying to weasel money out of it.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. 100%. I'm excited for Outriders, though.
I think so.
Who created Outriders?
Bulletstorm?
Yeah,
I don't
who
remember
created
what
Bulletstorm?
company did. We
Is
talked
it-
a lot about Bulletstorm when I was going to
Is
school
that a
for
Square
3
Enix
stuff.
company?
I don't know. The developer of I can tell you right now, the developer of Bulletstorm is Psyonix.
But who owns Psyonix? Are they their own company?
Sure. The developers right now are Epic Games, People Can Fly, and Psyonix. That's who's working on Bulletstorm.
Who owns Psyonix?
So that's interesting.
Epic Games owns Psyonix.
As of 2019.
Oh, yeah.
That was like
Psyonix was
oh
acquired by
that's
Epic
right, because
Games, so it's
Psyonix
recent.
is the guys that made Rocket League.
Wow. From Rocket League to this. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, because Psyonix has made Bulletstorm back in 2011. They made Supersonic Acrobatic Rockets in 2008. They also did Unreal Tournament 2004.
Oh, they did Unreal Tournament?
Yeah.
Nice.
They also did Nosgoth, which I don't recognize. Legacy of Kain, if that sounds familiar at all. Looks like Arc
Yeah.
Squadron, which was like a mobile game.
Okay, so Square Enix is a producer for it. So the project is
that
made
would make
by
sense.
Square Enix, is in partnership with People Can Fly. And then your game company you mentioned.
Rocket League.
Rocket League company. Psyonix.
Yes, there we go.
Psyonix. So Psyonix, People Can Fly, and Square Enix.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think it's a pretty good, solid team. We'll probably see some
I
good
think-
stuff out of it.
We'll see. We'll definitely see. Square Enix has some misses, but the other
It
two
does.
are pretty good developed.
Its most recent miss probably is going to be Final Fantasy 7
Shut
Remake.
up! It's gonna be
If it
an amazing spend.
If it even comes out, we don't even
It's
know
gonna
that
come
yet.
out. It's not gonna get delayed again.
All right, we'll see. We've had this conversation before, and I was
Whatever.
right.
Let's just move on. Let's move on. What are we
Okay.
talking about?
We're talking about something really exciting, and
Okay.
it's a very hit or miss thing, and it's game, TV adaptations, and movies.
TV adaptation and movies. We did a podcast where we ranked all of the movies, right?
We did. We ranked a whole bunch of the movies.
Did we release that podcast?
I think so.
I don't
I'm pretty
remember.
sure we did.
I don't remember.
I know for sure we released that one.
Okay.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Possible.
People are gonna. So for those of you who don't know and are still listening at this point, we record a lot of podcasts, and only like half of them get released.
No, whoa. At least like 89% of them. 83% of them.
Yeah. All right. 79%.
Plus 3. 82% of them.
82%.
All right.
Well,
and I won't
all right,
settle
fine.
for any less.
We'll talk about adaptations then. So,
Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of a recent big thing that's happened. And that's The Witcher.
You're talking about The Witcher?
On Netflix.
The Witcher's pretty good. I really enjoyed it.
They increased the Witcher TV show, increased the sales of The Witcher 3 by over 500%.
The book or the game?
The game.
Oh, man.
How long has the game been out for?
Years. It's been out for a few years now.
Exactly. That's incredible to have the sale. Like, they had to up productions. They made a statement. It was a few weeks ago that said, "Hey guys, we have to up productions. We're making more games. Don't worry, you're gonna get one."
Man, that's crazy.
It is. Plus, the Witcher book is a book that came out like tons and tons and tons of years ago. And suddenly it's a bestseller. A very recent bestseller. The last thing that we saw like this was in music with, I don't remember, it was some lady that sung like a Christmas song. It was like the top one back in like 1990 something, or like 92 or like the early 80s. And now suddenly like 3 years ago it was back in the top one spot.
Huh. Interesting.
But I think this is going to be a blessing and a disaster for the other people.
Well, yeah, so like obviously it's a blessing because we're going to get more video game adaptations into movies.
Yeah, but that's also a nightmare.
That's also a nightmare because they have a really bad track record. Most of them
might change things.
Hopefully. Because I think it's more faithful. So like,
well, not so much the more faithful, but they're not just recreating it.
Right, they're making their own story.
But the movies are faithful to the books, but I don't believe that they actually take place during the books. I think it takes place in like different moments.
Different time?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't read the book.
Is it a part of the lore of the books and the games?
It's a part of the lore of the books.
I thought they were separate. Okay.
So the books and the games are separate. There's a lot of stuff that carries over between the two of them, but it's very dedicated to the books.
I'm very excited to see, because obviously we're gonna get another Witcher season, but I'm very excited to see what would be done next.
Well, I know next year we are getting another Tomb Raider
movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be the sequel to the last Tomb Raider movie that just came out.
Oh, man, we'll see.
All I really know about it so far is they are taking a lot of inspiration from the third game.
Oh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider? I
Yeah.
haven't played that one.
Which I think will be really cool, because Shadow of the Tomb Raider was the best out of all of them.
Oh, was it?
I haven't played it, but that's what I've heard.
Oh, okay. I really want to play it. I need to play it again, because I love the first one, and the second one I enjoyed.
Yeah.
So I really want to play the third one. But, yeah, I mean, Alicia Vikander is all right.
I thought she did a pretty good job.
She did a decent job. The third act I had an issue with, but ultimately it was...
My biggest issue with the Tomb Raider movie was she meets her dad. Spoiler, whoops. And and he's like, I have no recollection of what's going on. And then 45 seconds later of the movie, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I know everything. It's fine. I remember stuff again. It's just like...
What really killed it for me, the third act I cringed at a little bit, but I'm like, fine, but let's just end strong. The very last scene is when she gets her guns. She's like, I'll take two. Like, just that scene irked me to my soul and made me like despise the movie for like 2 minutes.
Because it's done as like a sassy joke.
I know, but it was so bad. It was just so cringy. And honestly, my entire gripe was I really wish they had just casted the body actor for Laura in the games, because she looks just like Laura in the games. Like, they modeled that character after that actress.
I think it's better that it's someone different, though. Just
Yes,
it's because it's if it
I
was
really liked the games, and I would have loved to see that come to life in a different capacity.
Here's the problem though. If it was done just like the games, there would have been a different expectation. But because honestly,
guess.
if she looked just like she did in the games, and
Yeah.
that's the movie that we got, no, thank you.
Oh, that's true. That would have been bad. Yeah, that would have been super bad.
But what's really
All
cool
right,
is the
fine.
next movie. It's supposed to be really taking on. It's going to be going more of that supernatural route that's really
Yeah.
been showing up in the games recently, which is going to
Okay.
be really cool.
That'll be interesting. So, all right, TV show wise, what do you think is going to be the next video game to become a TV adaptation?
I don't know. It could be anything, and it scares me.
It's got to be something popular.
I know there's more updates for the Uncharted series.
Oh,
With
Tom Holland?
Yeah, Tom Holland. That'll
Playing
be
a young
interesting.
Drake. That got pushed back, and ultimately, it's not shut down, but it's in development hell right now.
No, not as of
Did
the
they just-
most recent thing that I saw about it.
Really?
It seems to be back up in positive things because it's got another director.
Another director.
It's got another director.
It's had like 9
'cause-
directors.
What happened last time was things got messed up. Just with times didn't work out because of the Spider-Man movie,
Yeah.
and that's why we lost the previous director. Because
We'll
just
see.
times couldn't work up when Tom Holland was doing Spider-Man.
I'm very curious because a lot of people love Nathan Drake as this 30-year-old, 40-year-old middle-aged man, and seeing a young version of him. Well, I do love Tom Holland. I'm very curious to see how it's going to work.
I think the hardest part is going to be Sully. I don't remember the name of the actor, but I looked him up, and I think he might be able to do a good job. But selling us on Sully is going to be the hardest part. And that's what I think
Yeah.
is going to make or break the movie.
You know, did you ever see that Uncharted live-action film made by Nathan Fillion?
I don't think I have. Everybody wanted to see him as Nathan Drake in some movies.
He's perfect. What?
Well, isn't he the one that is Nathan Drake?
No, you're thinking of what's his name? Nolan North. He's the voice of Nathan.
Okay, because I just look at Nathan Drake and I think of Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, everyone does.
They look so close.
Nathan Fillion used his own money and made a 15-minute short film of him being Drake, and
Yeah.
he is literally perfect.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when you watch this, you can tell he's a big fan, or he studied Drake hardcore, because the way he talks, the way he moves, just
Yeah.
his demeanor is
It's great.
spot
It's
on.
great. I honestly feel that
Now,
they went and looked. They probably, when they went to go and make Uncharted, they went and watched Firefly, and they're like, "This is our character."
Yeah, but Sully and Elena are hard sell on this short. Like, I wasn't a fan of them personally. I think the casting was off, but I'm willing to overlook it because Nathan Fillion is
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
perfect. Watch it. They need to make a movie with him. He has to be Drake. Like, I love Tom Holland, but if they make Drake older, it has to be Nathan Fillion. It just has to be. Like, it can't be anybody else.
There's been more talk about I don't know if we can call it a reboot, but of doing more of Firefly.
That'd be cool.
Everybody, because there was for the longest time. What's the name of the guy that the director of it? He does a bunch of comic book stuff as well.
Mark Webb.
No,
Yeah, Mark Webb's the director. He
who's the
created
one
Firefly.
that? There was somebody else.
Not Mark. I'm sorry, not Mark Webb. Jesus, I messed that up.
He's
the
like
director of the first Avengers.
It was the guy. He did a whole bunch of cameos on. Yeah. I don't remember his name. This sucks.
God dang it! What's his?
I'm
name?
trying to recall his name. Do you know the guy I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. He's the director of the first Avengers.
Okay.
Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon. There we go. Because for the
Yeah.
longest time, Joss Whedon said no, he was done with it. But now even he's been. There was a fan that sent out a message or whatever, and basically what he got back was all of the staff, or unfortunately all the people that are still alive, because we lost. I don't remember the names of the characters, but it was the old guy
I don't
from
remember.
Firefly. There was the old doctor.
I saw it as a preteen, so it's been a long time.
Oh, see, I've watched it a few times since
I
since
have
then.
not.
But two of the actors have passed away, unfortunately. But every other actor is they've said like, yeah, we'll do this. Like we're ready.
That's awesome.
I mean, not all to that degree, but everybody's all for it. And even Joss Whedon's been saying like, well, if things work out, yeah, we've been talking, we've been thinking maybe it'd be something cool to do.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that would be pretty
Which is
cool.
way better than his no, I've moved on, I'm past it.
Yeah, it's true. But Nathan Fillion needs to be Drake. Just saying, if they do an older version of Drake, it has to be Nathan Fillion. He's perfect.
If this movie is successful, I expect to see a second one, a sequel to it, and then something to do in the future. We're going to get at least 2 movies of young Drake first, and then we're going to get an older Drake.
I think they should do back and forth like they did with Uncharted 3. So I think the first one can be young, right?
What do you mean by
And
like
then
Uncharted 3?
Uncharted 3, you have that scene where you go back in time and you play young Drake?
Wasn't that in Uncharted 4?
No. Uncharted 4 doesn't go back in time at all. It's Uncharted 3.
Oh, I'm mixing them up then. I thought it was Uncharted 4 where you played as him when he was young. Oh, right, because Uncharted 4 is the prison stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
So yeah, I think you do the first one with Tom Holland. If this is successful, you do another one with older Drake, and then you go back and forth between the two.
Okay.
Because then you can kind of do the whole comparison thing. Like Drake does something, and then it shows him Tom Holland learning how to do it or something like that, or having a similar situation.
That'd be cool. Because then you could do like another movie where it does like bits of both.
Yeah.
I love those
I think
games.
it'd be great. I do too. They're so good. Anyways, other TV show. Do you think they would do Mass Effect, since that one was wildly successful like The Witcher?
There were talks before about a Mass Effect movie. There were talks about it before.
Mass Effect would be a much better TV show.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Maybe.
You
I
could do
personally
something
don't care
in
if they do Mass Effect, but
if they do something Mass Effect, it's not going to be with Commander Shepard. I think it's a huge mistake if they try to do a movie with Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
If there's a cameo of him in the movie, sure, but I feel like it's going to be better for them to do something with side characters or even just in the Mass Effect universe. If they do it in the universe, I think that's going to be more successful than if they do one as Captain
It might
Shepard.
be more successful. I don't think it would get the big fan base like.
I don't know, but it's so
without
tough
Shepard.
because Commander Shepard's different for everybody.
That's true.
How are you supposed to
it's
decide
different for
for
everybody,
people
but
what
they
Commander
had
Shepard's supposed to be?
had a character in mind. They have an obviously ideal storyline. They would just go with that.
Oh, let's not get into you and your ideal storyline stuff again. No, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All right, so I guess here's my question. If they could turn any video game you want into a series, what game would that be? It has to be a TV series, not a movie.
I don't know. There's so many games. This is a terrible option, and they should never do it. But they should, because I loved it so much. But I love Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars. But don't do it because it'd be terrible. But do it because I'd like to see it.
Don't do it, but do it. But don't do it.
Don't do it
I would
because
love
it's
to do
not
it.
going to go over well. But do it for me.
You know what I actually would like to see?
What would you want to see?
I would love to see Borderlands. Because it's a TV show. Not live action. An animated TV show.
Interesting.
I think the style of Borderlands could be really good in animation.
I think the style would be cool, but here's the problem. The humor and everything for Borderlands hasn't grown up. It's still the same as it was when Borderlands 1 and 2 came out, and unfortunately, times have changed to the point where a lot
that
of
doesn't mean
stuff,
the TV show can't be.
But then it's not Borderlands. It's not what we know and
Well, that's
love.
not true. You can have something evolve and still be what you want.
No, we can't. No.
You can't.
I play with Charmander only. No Charmeleon, no Chars. I'm sorry, that was
the reason
stupid.
I say it is because the reason I would love to see Borderlands as a show, because then you can go off the characters in the games. You can make something else. And my reasoning for it is Tales of the Borderlands.
I still haven't played that. Was it good?
I loved it. I really, really enjoy Tales of the Borderlands. And I would love to see an animated TV show.
I'll give you that.
Just because with that, I think it had a lot of character. I love the characters in it. I think you can get some really good voice actors because that's what sells it.
Yeah. I don't know. I never finished Borderlands 3. I just couldn't finish playing it. Okay. Not that I didn't like it, but I just I fell out. It wasn't screaming to me like the others were when I was younger.
Yeah.
But
now,
I guess I'm also tired of loot shooters.
That's fair.
Because it's you pick up the items, you're like, oh, I'm doing really great, and then it's like, oh, now my weapons suck, and it's grind. Oh, now I can go do a couple more levels. Oh, grind. And that's just maybe I'd enjoy it more.
Exhausting.
I don't know.
I another thing I kind of like to see, but I kind of don't want to see.
What?
I'd love to see BioShock adapted in some way. I'd love to see how they could do it.
I'm good.
Why?
I don't like that kind of stuff.
It's not even that scary.
It's too much for me. It's the suspense.
It's not
Zio.
the first. Oh my god.
It's not the scary parts of the game that keep me away from playing those games. It's the suspense. I can't do it. I can't do it. I stress myself out.
I think any interpretation or iteration of BioShock would be bad, but I would love to see them try it.
That'd be cool. No, you're right. It'd be cool to see them
especially with like BioShock Infinite. Like that's my favorite BioShock game. And
I believe it's kind of how it's just the common consensus is that Infinite was the best.
Really? I know a lot of people who like the first one the most.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
Not
Infinite was
people I know.
Really? I'd love to meet those people then, because Infinite's my favorite. It's the best in my opinion.
You're gonna like to hear this, but I think Infamous would make a good TV series.
That would be a good TV series. Because it would be perfect in this world right now, because superheroes are at an all-time high.
Yep.
And
it's got that dark, gritty stuff that we love.
It's got that dark, gritty stuff that you can do.
Is he
kind
a
of remind me
hero?
of like The Boys. You can easily put that in an Amazon series or Netflix.
Yeah. Is he a hero? Is he an anti-hero? Is he a villain?
Who knows?
Zio knows the answer, but do we? No, we don't. Because none of the rest of us played it, because it was a garbage game. Just kidding.
It was a great game! But no,
okay.
Even then, they don't have to follow the main character. They can create anything.
This isn't a game series, but you know what I want to see a TV adaptation of?
What?
Harry Potter.
Aren't they doing that?
I hope so.
I'm pretty sure you're the one who told me they're doing that.
Well, they're not doing it. There was like very small talks of it, and then I think they should, because that would be really cool. I think it would do better as a TV series than a movie
Harry Potter
series.
TV show in development at Warner Bros.
What? What?
Yeah.
No.
That's what this article says.
No, is it actually?
Yeah.
Do we know who's playing who?
Nope. It's super early in development. There's nothing else happening, so it could just turn into nothing. But
that'd be pretty sweet. I hope it. Okay. All right. You know what I want to see more than anything in the world?
What?
You already know, because I've talked about it in the Discord.
Well, refresh my memory.
There's a famous actor. He played a evil but then good.
Oh yeah, I know. You're talking about
I forgot his name.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver should play Sirius Snape. He's got the look for it, and he's a freaking-tastic actor.
He's a pretty good actor. I do like him a lot. Yeah.
He's played in a lot of movies, like they're like indie movies, before he was in the job here. And the roles he's played, it's been stuff all over the place.
Yeah, he definitely likes to challenge himself.
Yeah, I would love to see that. So
that'd be pretty sweet. I'm very curious. I think they could definitely explore the books a lot more with it.
Well, there's a lot of characters that got cut out just because of time constraints that were really important to everything. So,
and it would be easier to follow each book because in a season, it's every year, so you'd see the children grow in a natural order like that as well.
Possible. Well, it depends on how they get things out. So,
yeah, but most seasons happen on a yearly basis, so it makes sense. I mean, the movies did a pretty decent job, but the kids not growing too old out of the characters too quick.
Mm-hmm. I know this is again off topic, but who's the guy that played, Fantastic Beasts, those movie series? Did you see those?
Yeah, I did.
The main actor, what's his name?
His name is Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah, because
Redmayne. It's either Redmayne or Redmayne. It's one of those two.
So he did an absolutely fantastic job for the character.
Yeah.
But do you know why we didn't see very much of him or as much of him in the second movie?
What do you mean? I thought we saw plenty of him in the second movie.
He was originally going to be in a lot more, but he was slowly toned back and pulled out, and so for to possibly even not have him very much in the last movie because big shots in Hollywood were like, no, this isn't kind of what we want here in America. This isn't like, they didn't think that he would do well in an American setting.
What? He's
Yeah.
a great actor.
But look at most of the movies that we have with the male lead roles in Hollywood. They're not like him.
Oh, where they're reserved and stuff?
They're more like he's too...
Awkward?
You don't really know what he is. He's awesome and quirky. And that's not cool, Zio. It's not cool this day and age.
I don't know.
You gotta be tough. You gotta like sports. You gotta shoot things.
Huh. I wasn't aware of that, but that'd be interesting. I mean, Harry Potter was awkward and quirky.
That was different, though.
He was pretty bland.
It was different, though. It was different, Zio. It wasn't the same.
I guess. Whatever.
But anything else you want to talk about before we wrap things up here?
No. I got nothing.
Cool. Well, with that, we'll catch you guys another time. Don't forget to go and check if you enjoyed this. You guys should stop by Geeks Actively Making Entertainment on YouTube. Check out some Next to Nothing, a web series we do in No Man's Sky. I vice Prick, and he vice Ness.
I vice Ness. And we got merch, too. Check that out.
Ah, you greasy sly bugger.
What? Look, I waited till the end of the podcast, all right? Jeez, give me a break.